Alright? Hasan, come on up! Again, the drum beat! Alright, let me just introduce them to you again, because the only thing they remember about you is you goofed up with the presentation. Yeah. Right. So again, reminding you, he's a very intelligent guy, knew him for a long time. But what's more interesting about him is his background. When you actually started off in the software industry.
When I completed my HSC exam, I started working with software, with first garments company. Then I started with consulting with many companies, giving training to them. Then I worked with the mobile relevant stuff, J2M application. Then I worked with someone, it was 4 years back. Or
How old?
Right now? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm right now 25. My 25 is going on. I started it in 2003. So, yeah.
Give him a big hand. Some encouragement. That's not encouragement. Come on. All right. Now he's going to talk about continuous productivity versus last moment hyperactivity. And we saw the hyperactivity part. And now let's see him do the productivity part.
Okay. So, is my clock ticking? Yeah. Okay. So, continuous productivity versus the last moment hyperactivity. So, you see, I will just go through the explanation of what is hyperactivity and continuous productivity. Okay, so what is hyperactivity? Do you have any idea? So, I don't have any time to ask, so let's skip it. So, hyperactivity means, if you look into the graph, you see there are some upraising curve. So when we start the project, at the beginning of the project, we used to work slowly. Like I have plenty of times. After 3 months, we have to come up with release. I'm just feeling a bit nervous, you know. So when we are coming at the point when we have to release something, so the activity is just boost. You see the people, everyone works late night, they stay at office, boss or management, it seems like they understand them. They just bring a lot of pizza and a lot of things. I really love that. And I think many of you also love this kind of thing. So what is the trade-off? So the minefield, the landmine, when you just walking and sometimes you see a beautiful garden, you walking and sometimes you just blown away, It might happen, you just blast, everything will be just gone. So when you are developing something at the very last moment, so it's very fact that you might have a lot of bug, traps and a lot of things. So I have to make it fast. You just making me nervous, Just you don't stay here. Just go away. The technical depth is actually when we are developing something, we are coming up with architectural stuff. So we sometimes sacrifice. Like we have to come up with first release. We have to come up with more output. So what we do, we sacrifice something. We consider something that we can do it later on. Let's skip it. That's how the technical depth actually increase. So you guys will just search on Google and find out a lot of articles. I'm not going to talk deals here. The ROI, the return of investment. The DOI means actually the debt of an investment. So you invest in something, it will become dead, because if your client can earn money, he won't pay you. So you have to save, you protect your client as well. So hyperactivity always can save, because when you have the minefield, when users are browsing or users are using the service, and if they feel like this is shit, we should have a better service, user will not be impressed. When they are not impressed, they are not getting user, they are not earning, our client are not earning, and we are not earning as well. The same thing. So product get kicked out, we get no client like this. So I have to do very fast. So you say it's just burning. What is continuous productivity? The continuous productivity means you have to work regularly. So I'm not a good student. I was never, and I will never. So few of you are very good student, holding a lot of very good A+. So I asked few of my friends, "Ghost, how you do that? How you get good mark?" He said, "I study every day. I don't study a lot, but I study a little every day." So that's how the continuous productivity works. Like you have to study or work a little every day. or at least you have to continue. So you see, if you look into this, you remind those of raising curve, right? These green things, these are the sprint. I mean, I don't know you guys are whether you are familiar with agile, iterative based approach or not. But I mean, if you have any question, we'll discuss later on. But what I'm trying to say, the team is working every day. They have I mean, this kind of progress. Just skip it, okay? I don't know how I can explain. Okay, agile mindset and waterfall mindset. I'm just typical project would have the same impact. I mean, it shows this kind of productivity graph. So in agile project, you see this kind of stripe. So the difference is your management will never understand that they used to with the traditional system that they will bring pizza, the team will be more. I mean, they treat productivity like I mean, people will stay late at office, they will work a lot, they will I mean, you know, lots of things like that. So when you moving to agile, so the main thing is you have to be more agile and you will have regular progress. So you don't have any, I mean, you won't get any time to stay at late at office if you have a good planning and agile practice. So what I'm trying to say, this is something the management, I mean, they have to understand, they have to incorporate as well. Thanks. So this is me actually, and I'm working already. I mean, Sajjad Bhai told, so I don't have to say anything. But I mean, you know, the big problem is when I'm talking through this, I don't hear me. I'm hearing my ego. So the problem is I'm just thinking someone is talking. So I'm just trying to understand what he's saying, then I'm trying to bring out another word. So that's the biggest problem. No, it's not my fault.
Big hand. Thank you. Well, Hasan, I've learned two things from your presentation. One is max hang, just like Windows, and if we, all right, and if we follow the agile mindset, we're not getting any pizzas, right? All right, but you know. I can't believe you said, I don't know how to explain that. I can't believe he said that. He's the chief technologist over there. I said, I don't know how to explain that. Okay, questions?
I always, I mean, fear about question. Guys, you don't have to ask me. Why? I will treat you pizza.
I just want to add one thing to your presentation over here. Like you wanted to focus on the terms on productivity and hyperactivity. What is your thought about the term hyperproductivity for the iterative Scrum process?
Absolutely, this is another term. I mean, we could utilize for agile project, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't mention because I have to use 3 term at that time. Then I didn't get any time.
What is your opinion about that?
I mean, yeah, agile project, as I showed you something like the productivity. The people are always working. They are working in a certain amount, so that's why you have better. I mean, at the last moment work, you know, I mean, how people are getting GPA or A+ or something. This is hyperproductivity. So same things happen for agile when you have the continuous work. So people are working. I don't know how to explain better than that. But I mean, I believe with that, and actually I believe that in case of agile, it goes, I mean, far better than the typical waterfall project. So did you expect something exceptional?
Yeah, I actually.
You can add actually.
No, I want to add it to like, for example, you were mentioning over there scrums and other iterative processes where people used to do sprints or like iterative development. Through hyperproductivity, what they can do is like they can have chunks of hyperproductivity states and they can take rest for 2 days or 1 day. And
we absolutely. I mean, we do it some certain way. I mean, my boss is here actually, so he was asking me actually. I mean, you are so flexible. Your team are getting so flexibility, so he was very concerned. So I told him actually because I mean, you know, being big. I mean, you know the ham and egg stuff. So being ham and chicken. Sorry. I mean, we are pig, right? So being pig, we know actually how we are working, the way we are presenting ourselves is completely bullshit, because we can present ourselves, we can expose how much work we are doing. So this is the main problem for management as well. They won't understand actually where we are. So I mean, about the hyperactivity, I found in sprint actually we took a lot of commitment, over-committed something. So every team member, they committed for 6 hours, but they did more than, way far than 6 hours. But no one will never know it, because we committed for 6 hours of work. So I mean, after that actually we took 3 days off. We took 2 days holiday, and then we have a sprint planning, so it was kind of off as well.
My point actually,
Yeah.
like you cannot sprint all the time, you need to take rest and
Right.
go to continuous hyperproductivity.
Exactly. Then we can again start with hyperactive productivity. Yeah, we started eating a lot. I mean, you say I'm just getting fat a lot. I mean, I was fat. That again. What?
All right, thank you. A big hand for Hasan.